So before I go any further, if I sound a wee bit nasally, I know I did slightly in the previous vid. Anytime that I go into an area with 5G, I don't feel great. Yeah, I do find that there's residuals even when I've left there, for like the following hours. For many who live, for example, in Edinburgh, which is a 5G area, I tend to find that most people's health is not the best. They go on, they carry on, but they're just, you can tell that their health is not quite what it used to be. I'm finding anyway. What I find particularly myself, what I find that when I'm in these areas, I just can't wait to get out of them. It just doesn't. It's not relaxing. It's not. It's. You feel stressed. I think that's fair. And I mean, obviously, some people are more sensitive to this ever expanding array of frequencies that people are exposed to, based on apparently on convenience and the ability to download things faster, to watch in 4K or in excess of that, uninterrupted by any lagging things. This is the promise that you get apparently for these various 5G towers to be. And have you ever looked at the bottom of them? Have you seen just the power requirements of these things? And nobody questions it. Nobody at all. Which should change, really, as more people say that their health isn't quite what it was. You should try spending a wee bit time out with these areas, even for the matter of a few days. Now, you could put it down to things like, the cynical out there would say, well, it's just that I've been able to relax in more natural or rural aspects, and I've found benefit from that. And yeah, you could absolutely say that. But I would also say that for that duration, the lack of exposure to the 5G has definitely benefited you. And, when you go back into the cities, into the urban, and you are constantly told about convenience and the Internet of Things and so much more, you need to look at that again. Because I'll tell you, see, when it comes to the occultists, you tend to find a lot of them don't live in the cities. They'll work in the cities. Maybe, actually, the sheer amount of occultists that even I'm aware of who work in built-up areas, which they're getting exposed to 5G and they're breathing the same air as the rest of us, as the chemtrail or skies. Meanwhile, they're talking about, well, doctors. 100 doctors call for crackdown on trendy invisible killer home appliance, and it's yet again demonizing log burners. And have you seen how much more efficient log burners have become even over the last 20 years? And their filtration, any aspects of dust, residuals, all the rest of it, they're phenomenal. And they're certainly not like that, I can assure you. Be assured of that. But no, we've just got to make sure everybody just goes over to, well, electric heating, fan-based electric heating. And by the way, when you look at these air fryers and these forever chemicals, have you ever actually thought about how many of these electric heaters or radiant heat this, but they're all made of plastic? And the same thing with so many of these fan heaters and so much more. And you're breathing all this, and no, nobody seems to give a fuck about that. Now the deadly thing is wood-burning stoves. Remember, this has been a thing for, well, Yeah, but no. We've got to do more. Meanwhile, they're irradiating people on a daily basis with 5G. And even, what was it, the American Senate, all the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. And when they were, the head honchos of industry, has there been any sort of, health assessments on these towers? And they're all looking at each other. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, and they cut down all those trees in places like Edinburgh and so many other places. Why was that? Considering they've known, and one of the reasons why you would have trees in urban areas was because in summer weather, where there is trees, the streets are cooler. They've known this. You name the place, you have trees in the streets, they're cooler because the trees absorb so much of the heat, they draw up so much moisture from the ground, blah, blah, blah. The temperature is lower. All that. No, we have to get rid of them to help validate that it's getting warmer, and because the 5G towers have problems with trees. Why? Because of the amount of water in them. And what are we mostly made up of? But, I digress. So, I look at this, and it was something Paul also had put up as an example of the feminine and the male, because in the vid that I done, the worship of the vid I did, the worship of the female opening, an individual had said it's both male and female, and I replied yes. And I should have gone into more detail. But yeah, look, the type of people that come to my channel or wherever I'm on platform-wise, they're usually fairly clued up themselves. But he's right, or she's right, whoever it is, that they're right. Because it's the female and there's the male. The male is the male member. By the way, the members of Parliament, members of... It's all about sex magic and so much more. Believe it or not. But Paul Price had also put up this as an example: the female opening and the male member. Now, if you still have a doubt in all these things, let me tell you something. Type in any city at all in the UK, and that could be applied to America. It could be applied to so many Western nations. But let's do Edinburgh. And what do you see there? It's the female opening, yeah? And there's the male member. And this, let's grab the wee manny and plonk it down. There, for example. There's the male member. You could do this in any town and city. Be assured of that, in the UK. And you will find this is a running theme. We're dealing with occultism. It's been all around us since pretty much day dot. And most of us are blissfully unaware of it. And it's to our detriment. Anyway, I hope this video has not gone off at too many tangents. It is a slightly different vid, but, look, I've tried various other methods, formats, all the rest of it. It doesn't get me any more subs or views, so I'm just more like, well, here's my thoughts at the moment. Have you thought about this? Blah, blah, blah. And I'll speak to you soon.